I'm Tharang Ramandraka. This Self-Mastery Shorts video series, as I told you in the introductory video in this series, is for the person on the run and under the gun. It's not a comprehensive self-mastery training program. It's not a regimented regime. Therefore, there's not much here in this series about how to implement these self-mastery techniques into everyday life, to turn them into a way of being. If this included that, if this series included that every step of the way, well, that would be a lot closer to a comprehensive, regimented self-mastery training program than it is. So the ball's in your hands here with respect to implementing this stuff into your everyday life. It's not in mine. If you are a one-on-one client of mine in a fully regimented, guided self-mastery training program, my program, there'd be no question over how this gets implemented into your everyday life, because there'd be detailed instruction about that. Things to do every week. And if you follow the instructions to the letter, all self-mastery material would get fully implemented into your daily life and become habit, become the way of your being in this world, in this life experience. But that's not here in this video series. So it's in your hands to do that. How do you do it? Well, the easy answer is you got to create your own method for it. But I can give you some tips. I can make a self-mastery short out of it, which is exactly what this is. Tell you what, how about this? I just thought of this. Pick one of the techniques here in this series. Pick one video, one that you find interesting, a technique or a subject that you find interesting to you, one that you actually feel some kind of an emotional connection with, something that kind of gets you excited in some way. In other words, one that you feel some actual motivation toward. Pick that one and figure out a way to practice it. This thing, whatever it is, you know, the subject matter, the instruction in the selected video, and practice it. Practice it. When it comes to implementation into your daily life, remember to do that. Make a note. Carry it around with you. Write it on your hand. Do something to remember to begin employing this in your everyday activities. And start with simple activities. Start with maybe just 3 times a day you're going to implement something. Whatever it is, whatever it happens to be, whatever the content happens to be that you have particular interest in. Okay, or the subject matter that you have particular interest in. Take the practical instructions side of it from the video, whatever the video would be, here in this playlist, right? And begin to apply it to simple, easy situations first. Maybe just like 3 times a day. And don't skip a day. Do it every day. For 21 days. Without break. Don't change it. Don't add to it. Do it the same way. Do the same. Just follow the same procedure every day for 21 days. It takes at least 21 days of repetition, doing the same thing to form the foundation for a mental habit. That's why I say just stick with the instruction as given. However it is you're doing it, do the same procedure every day for at least 21 days, and 3 times a day. This begins to form it forms a pattern. Three in a row of something, 3 occurrences of something. Build a pattern. That's the least number of things in a row or in a sequence that it takes for something to establish a pattern. So you want to every day have this pattern in place, okay, for at least 21 days in a row to develop the foundation for a mental habit before adding on something else. And that adding on something else might be increasing the occurrence of the same thing to 5 times a day. Or it might be picking the content of another one of these videos and start doing it too. You just take this stuff slowly. Take this stuff easily. Build it into your everyday activities. And keep it up. Be persistent. Just be kind of systematic. Build your own method. Build your own system. Be creative with this, but just follow those basic rules. Remember to do it. Start with easy stuff. Start your implementations with easy stuff. And just a few times a day. And then build up frequency. And build up difficulty of application. And slowly add more things in. And you'll find that each one of these techniques helps the others. You also find that they blend well together. That the common denominator among them all is self-mastery. So ultimately you may find that they are just different aspects of self-mastery. All of them. Like self-mastery was the suitcase, and when you opened up the suitcase, all these things came out. They're all self-mastery. They all help each other. They're all part of the same thing. And you just going about implementing them, learning them, practicing them, and then implementing them in a systematic fashion of your own design. Just following a few basic rules for implementation and practice. That's how you can do this. That's how you can be in charge of your own self-mastery as you're on the go. And I would suggest that the sooner you can get into implementing these things, rather than just practicing them off at home or some time when you'd have nothing else to do, the better, because you're busy, and I know that. This playlist, this series of videos is made for you. So get quickly as possible into implementing these things into your everyday life. That way they take no extra time, really. Maybe a few seconds here and there. This stuff is for practical application. This stuff is not meant to take up your time. This is stuff to do in the rigors of everyday life. Now, a couple of these things here, yeah, they take some time aside. Right. You don't have the time now. Wait until you get some self-mastery under your belt with other things that, here in this playlist that you can implement very quickly while you're doing what you do through the day. Then you'll find that you have a little bit of extra time or motivation to do some of the other things that require you to do something separate from everything else you do during the day. The point is, be systematic. Be systematic. Okay? Just take it easy, man. Implementation. Just find a way to do that. I just gave you some tips for that. So this now is another Self-Mastery Short video. I'm Theron Q. Ramacharaka. Be well. Have a good day.